ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेद वेदांग वेदांत विद्यास्थानेभ्य एव च सरस्वती महाभागे विद्ये कमललोचने विद्यारूपे विशालाक्षी विद्यां देहि नमोस्तुते। यदक्षरं पदं भ्रष्टं मात्रहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवी प्रसीदत् परमेश्वरी। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे। ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम हरि ओम। Today we will be on topic 7, Sattva quality, Sattva Lakshana of the second chapter, Dashak, as we say. So we shall just read the Marathi verses. Swami Samarth Ramdas speaking about, if we heard about Rajoguna, then Tamoguna, and now we speak of Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna is prescribed, Sattva Guna is appreciated in all spiritual seekers. In fact, the moment there is Sattva Guna, there is greater understanding, receptivity, understanding of the larger perspective. That comes only when we are able to let go of our immediate ego hankerings, So Sattva Guna, usually the person who's Sattvic has more maturity, sensitivity, and can think deeply. This is how it is expressed, and such a person is basically calm and not agitated easily, frustrated, and none of all those passionate emotions, or not carried away by his sentiments. We'll see some more, and I think Samarth Ramdas ji has given the maximum number of points, verses on Sattva Guna in the second chapter. So we shall just read. Shri Ram मागा बोलीला तमो गुण जो दुःखदायक दारुण आता ऐका सत्व गुण परम दुर्लभ. जो भजनाचा आधार, जो योगियांची थार, जो निरसी संसार दुःख मूळ जो, जेणे होय उत्तम गती मार्ग फुटे भगवंती, जेणे पाविजे मुक्ती सायोज्यता ते, जो भक्तांचा कोवसा, जो भवार्णवीचा भरवसा, मोक्ष लक्ष्मीची दशा तो सत्व. जो परमार्थाचे मंडण, जो महंताचे भूषण, रजतमाचे निरीक्षण, तो सत्वगुण. जो परम सुखकारी, जो आनंदाची लहरी, देऊनिया निवारी जन्म मृत्यू. जो अज्ञानाचा चेवट, जो पुण्याचे मूळ पीठ, जयाचे मी सापडे वाट परलोकाची. ऐसा हा सत्वगुण देही उमटता आपण, ते क्रियेचे लक्षण ऐसे असे. ईश्वरी प्रेमा अधिक, प्रपंच संपादने लौकिक, सदा सन्निध विवेक, तो सत्वगुण. संसार दुःख विसरवी, भक्ती मार्ग विमळ दावी, भजन क्रिया उपजवी, तो सत्वगुण. We shall see the English translation also of this 10 verses. In the last chapter, as Swami Samartha says, Mage bolila tamoguna. In the last chapter, the quality of tamas stole, which is very painful. Jo dukkha dayak darunam, which very, very painful and horrible. Painful even for that person who is in tamasic state. He suffers it actually, and with a tamasic kind of person around you, even people suffer. So it's basically, it's like we say that's some karma that we have done, that we have to go through this. So here he says it is very painful and horrible. Now please listen to the quality of sattva, which is dullabha, rare. Rare, why? Because if you see in our daily routine also, and especially people in the cities, urban life has made it very durlabh. Morning, if we are, sometimes we are managing to keep a little calm. But if the news that you hear in the paper or WhatsApp or TV, anything that, even a small thing like your maid not coming to work for the day can send people off on toss. They are absolutely agitated. Then there is constant like, now what to do? Why this has happened is urban life. We are very dependent on so many things and so many people for our own daily chores also. We call it convenience, but actually we have a lot of trouble because of that. The more you are self-reliant, you can at least hope to be sattvic in nature. Our whole life sometimes depends, our day depends on so many factors. Starting from the alarm clock, which doesn't go off on time sometimes, the train, the buses, our commute, our maid, So he's durlabha only to remain in sattva, even if you wake up with a good mood, to continue with it and then throughout the day is durlabha. So you know why he says it is rare. Also, he says this sattva is the supporter of devotion and bhajanacha adhara, the helper of yogis, and it liberates us from worldly life, which is full of sorrow. Dukkha moola. What is dukkha moola? Nirasi samsara. This samsara, which has actually no, for a person who can think deeply, he really can see, the fallacy here. How we, as Bhagavan Shankara says in Balasthavata Krida Sattah, Tarunastavat Taruni Sattah. Normally, this is what is happening. In youth, I want games and I want to, play, and I have to be studying, I have to be doing something. But no, my whole Vishaya is outside. In the samsara, what all should I get? As I grow, so when I grow and I'm interested in something else, and I have taken sannyas for the previous thing, that doesn't mean I've really given up. I am just caught up with something else other than this. And this is what creates bondage to the world, constantly seeking something outside of us to get into a relationship with somebody to seek that fulfillment, get this object, get this much wealth. Wealth is required, no doubt. But to make that the focus, the goal of our life. And then, because for most of us, it is these goals that are, we are tied to constantly. Goals which belong to the world, external in nature. So obviously, this person who is sattvic in nature can see through this. He says, okay, theek hai, but is my fulfillment there? Am I going to be satisfied with things? Huh? Most people after retirement come to this understanding. There was really nothing there. Oh, I don't give any. Because you are fed up, you've been doing this for 60 years. Now you're bored, so you're saying. But when you were 20, when you were 40, chasing the way you did, what happened? No, Sattva Guna was not there. Rajo was there to a large extent. Therefore, so it's not really awakening. It's not great maturity. When at 60, you realize that, you have wasted your time. While it is right and it's your prime time to go after that, if you're able to see it, then you know that this person is sattvic in nature. So he says, by this quality, we can advance to higher stages and reach the path towards God, and achieve complete freedom. Jene hoye uttama gati. Also, he says, moksha lakshmi chi dasha to sattva guna. That is, you really are seeking. And this, what is this moksha? Liberation from what? From not knowing, from this ignorance, not knowing the right path, just going on doing. We never stop once to ask, is this the right thing to do? And even if somebody shows us the right thing, were we ready to hear? We are not ready to hear. Many people do come and tell me, why don't you conduct these classes for young children? Yes, we are ready to do for young children. But how many children will come? There are many mothers who will not send their children to such classes. It is better for them to learn computers or karate or something of the world again. It is even karate is for self-defense rather than getting into the meditation that karate martial arts can really lead you to. But that is not the focus. They will do yoga so that they lose weight, not yoga for what Patanjali has prescribed yoga for. So again, this shows how limited we are with our thinking. Because Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna rule. Where Sattva Guna plays, you begin to do things the right way. That's why he says Gati is also there. Freedom from this Ajnanata happens. Also, this is the protector of devotees. The only thing worth trusting in the ocean of world and is the state. This is the, that we read, glory of liberation. This is the glorification of the spiritual path. This is the ornament of spiritual authorities, and by this, the rajas and tamas are discarded, he says. Glorification of the spiritual path. In fact, if somebody is sattvic in nature, you know he is already got the tendencies to be spiritually inclined. Such people are very spiritually inclined. They may not be seen doing puja part or anything, but they are thinking very deeply. They do not discard God or, there are many people who tell me, oh, how silly it is all the time. Every Friday, go to this temple and every Monday, go to that temple. So what do? How do you discard this idea? You ask them, they have no answer to it. They just feel this is outdated or this is not modern to do. This is not intelligent thing to do. But they don't have any answers to this. Why there is that they do not believe this. So that is not sattvic in nature. This person may not be doing it, but he has his reasons and they are very consistent. His behavior is consistent with what he is thinking. He doesn't say one thing and do another thing. So this way, he says, it is the glorification. Such lakshanas, no, expressions are of a matured spiritual seeker. Also, it is an ornament of spiritual authorities. That is, whoever is a yogi, and if you call him, if you think he is evolved, highly evolved, he has to have sattva predominance. Sattva guna pradhan he has to be. And by being sattva, in sattva, only rajas and tamas are conquered. That is why Bhagavan Krishna says, no, that you be sattvic. Try and be sattva staha all the time. Remain in sattva guna. Hmm? This is a practice we must be able to do. Also, it is said here, this is the source of very high happiness. This, by the tides of bliss, removes the chain of births and deaths. Hmm? Deunya nivari janma mrityu. So, Sattva Guna can take you to that Parama Sukhakhari it is. It is very blissful. And the one who is Sattvic doesn't easily agitate people around him. He is also in a calm state of mind. Others around him also remain calm. Always Sukhakhari. And Anandachi Lahari, waves of bliss, source, as we say. In it, the ignorance comes to an end. This is the original seat of spiritual merit. So, jo ajnanacha sevat end. More and more, a person in sattva guna will begin to have many of those moments of realization, and that aha moment, I get it, I now understand. There is deeper. You keep discovering, and ajnanata gets to an end. They do not proceed. Every day complaining, I'm not understood this, I can't understand that. This has been my problem. After 2 years also, I'm suffering from the same problem. I have not yet been able to resolve. This we will not hear from a sattva person. Sattva predominant person, if he is got an issue to resolve, he deeply connects and resolves that. The next thing for him in his life to do will be to resolve that issue, come to an understanding. He can't put off that and then say, let me continue with the world as is because I have my work, I have my family, I have these duties, I will keep doing. And then when I face this problem again, let me deal with it. He will not postpone. For him, understanding is very important. Not simply mechanically going through life. So in it, the ignorance comes to an end. This is the original seat of spiritual merit. By help of this quality, we find the way towards the spiritual path. And spirituality is all about this, seeking clarity, becoming more understanding. Such is the quality of sattva. When it becomes evident in the body, the following kinds of actions take place. What is that? We shall see. ऐसा हा सत्वगुण देही उमटता आपण ते क्रियेचे लक्षण ऐसे असे. What is it? What kinds of actions? This man then has more love for God and performs his worldly duties as a matter of social routine. And there also, he is always aware of everything properly. He is going about doing his duties without complaining. He has understood whichever way in the family it is, whatever way the relationships are, he has learned well how to handle them. And he recognizes that this is a duty he must do. This is the way people are. He has learned how to intelligently deal with them. He is not bothered about correcting them, changing his own situation and condition all the time. He has just allowed a lot of acceptance to happen. And in that acceptance, there is a great strength and possibility for things to change. So he has this, and This comes also because he has great love for God. So these are the actions. This is the Lakshana marriage. God again, it might be his personal God, or God for him might be the truth. So he is seeking that. So there is a great, he is trying to anchor himself in a greater, nobler, higher truth than what he sees. So he goes about worldly duties, and there also he is aware. He is aware, he discusses in case there is a problem, he looks at resolving it immediately. Whereas the Rajasic person will only look at sorting the problem to his benefit every day, winning an argument, getting things done his way. Tamasic, we don't need to speak. We have spoken about it, lot about it already. So this is the way the Sattvic person, when there is a liking for spiritual path, when the mind is fond of religious sentiments, sorry, the 10th path is, this Sattva makes us forget the suffering of worldly life, shows us the straight path of devotion, and gives an impetus to devotional act. This is Sattva Guna. Huh? What does it mean here? It makes us forget the suffering of worldly life. A Sattva person, you'll rarely find them complaining about what's happening in his life. Some people take great pleasure in going on complaining about their family members, how they are not getting along, and their life situations, how it is, how bad it is. And we know we like to, one thing is we don't want to give up misery. That brings us so much affection and attention from people. People don't. But a sattvic person, until he knows that, he knows whom to approach and how to deal with that problem. So even if he goes, he seeks advice, he applies, he is not allowing, he doesn't keep on complaining about that. And usually his mind is such that he would like to forget these sufferings. And he takes to the path of devotion. He is anchored in that truth. And so wherever devotional activities are, he rushes to go, and it's like an impetus for that. So these are the lakshanas, the physical lakshanas. Now we will see some more about what Bhagavan has to say here. Paramarthachi avadi, uthe bhavarthachi godi, paropakari tatadi, to sattva guna. स्नान संध्या पुण्य शील अभ्यांतरीचा निर्मळ शरीर वस्त्रे सोज्वळ तो सत्वगुण. हे जन आणि या जन आधेन आणि अध्यापन स्वये करी दान पुण्य तो सत्वगुण. निरूपणाची आवडी जया हरी कथेची गाडी क्रिया पालटे रोकडी तो सत्वगुण. अश्वदाने गजदाने गोदाने भूमिदाने नाना रत्नांची दाने करी तो सत्वगुण. धनदान वस्त्रदान अन्नदान उदकदान करी ब्राह्मण संतर्पण तो सत्वगुण. कीर्तिक स्नाने माघ स्नाने कार्तिक स्नाने माघ स्नाने वृते उद्यापने दाने निकाम तीर्थे उपोषणे तो सत्वगुण. सहस्र भोजने लक्ष भोजने विविध प्रकारीची दाने निकाम करी सत्वगुणे कामना रजोगुण. तीर्थी अर्पी जो अग्रारे बांधे वापी सरोवरे बांधे देवळावे शिखरे तो सत्वगुण. देवद्वारी पडशाला पायरिया दीपमाळ वृंदावने पार पिंपळा बांधे तो सत्वगुण. Here, when there is a liking for spiritual path, we are already here listening to spiritual discourses. So there is, we must, शाबाशी अपने आप को दे दो कि भाई सत्व गुण है, प्रधान है, no problem. यहाँ, when there is a liking for spiritual path, when the mind is fond of religious sentiment, and when a man is very eager to help others, That is the quality of Sattva. And further, he will tell us, eager to help the other for what reason? That is important, because the Rajasic man will also be seen to help others. But he will first find out whom is he helping, whether he is going to benefit from this. People say, na, it is nice to be friendly with such people because they have high contacts. Huh? It's nice to know them because they belong to a different background, higher background. They have a position, status in society. Therefore, we must go out and help such people. When they are in need, there will be so many people who will go on for their help. Why? Because they want something in return. Huh? Sattvic person doesn't care. He finds somebody needing help, he will go out to him without any swartha in mind. Whereas the Rajasic person is very keen, even his friendliness and relationship building all will depend on who the other party is. Otherwise, he doesn't show all these lakshanas. So it's very easy to find out the intention behind such a connection. And when he is eager to help, that is the quality of sattva. A sattvic man, the 12th point, is very particular to take daily bath and offer prayers and performing good actions. He is very pure of heart and his body and clothes are clean. That again here, clean they are. They may not be very dressy and expensive clothes or anything liking of that. Oh, now I'm going to meet somebody important, so I dress up very well. He is very clean and pure at heart also, simple person, and is very particular about his daily routine, daily bath, offering prayers, performing good actions. This is very important. In fact, if he comes across somebody he has not dealt with properly, or he could have helped and he has not done it, it will pinch him very badly. At the end of the day, he will say, I should have done that. He remains with regret. There is remorse easily in us. He has empathy for everyone. Even if he cannot do something, he will keep in mind, because he empathizes. There's a great amount of empathy here. A sattvic man himself does the sacrifice, helps others to perform sacrifice. He himself learns continuously and also teaches others, and himself always earns the merit of charitable offerings to others. He dana, sacrifice is give up something, offer something. Sometimes it may even be, at the cost of his own pocket, but he will help others perform also. If somebody wants to do it, he will go out of his way to show him how. हाँ? ये नहीं कि भाई उसको करना है, let him do, I will tell him, but I will not join him and all. I don't have that much time. I can't be going all this. This is not expected of me. People who start giving excuses and justify their selfish actions, no, it's not sattvic. A sattvic person, as soon as he has understood, he will gauge immediately and help others also in the same path. It is not only that this goodness is for me, but can I share it with others? That is very important. And he learns continuously and he's teaching also continuously. He also leads others and opens their, he makes them discover things. This is important. Most of us, sometimes we are learning, but about telling it and sharing with others, we are very closed. We are not very sure, because I don't know how the other person will take it. I don't know whether I should do this or no. All the time confused. Sattvic person, he says, see, this way you can do, this way you can do, and leave it at that. He will guide you and then forget about it, whether you have taken his advice or not taken his advice. The Rajasic person is not so. He will want to see that you have listened to him, convinced you about his standpoint. He will follow up with you whether you have done exactly what he has told, because he has great pride in that. Not this sattvic person. So these are all the lakshanas. It is the quality of sattva when a man has liking for listening to stories of God and enjoys discourses on such subjects, and there is immediate change in his actions. Now this is beautiful. When you are sattva pradhan, you hear something, especially from stories of gods and saints. What we learn is how to deal in certain actions and in situations, and how and why the saint did that. May I get to understand that, and may also learn to be that. That is very beautiful. And immediately they will try to change. They will understand where they are going wrong and make those necessary changes without having to be told. Because they see it in the story, they hear the story. They have a liking for these spiritual stories because that thrills their mind. It is like, they are waiting to hear that so that they can correct themselves, they can evolve easily and quickly. They are always looking at an opportunity for that. Huh? Now, this is very important. A sattvic person is rushing to do these things first, even at the cost of something selfish. Sometimes, no? If he finds that, but it is not so seen in the Rajasic and the Tamasic person. Huh? They are compelled by their own emotions and their thinking, which is selfish in nature, basically attached to their ego. So, a Rajasic person will always weigh things, pros and cons. Is that day suitable? Do I have any other? Do I have my meeting with other people? Do I have other commitments that I have that may not necessarily be sattvic in nature, but it is my important because I'm my position in family. If it's important for my position in the community that I need to be doing this, I am always looking forward to those things and have this excuse all the time. Whereas a spiritual minded person who is sattvic, he has to be sattvic pradhan, he will say, haven't I done enough of this? He sees deeply that, this is not going to get me evolved spiritually. So I'm ready. I will somehow manage to work around those things, but I will attend the classes, the discourses, I will attend these. It comes naturally to me, and that is his priority. This is the difference between a sattvic and a rajasic person. Rajasic person will come to it if at that time he is agitated and he is upset and he doesn't know what to do. He might come to a discourse, feel good about it, and go back and then continue with his ways. Whereas the sattvic person, he first asks, and even as if he takes up karma yoga or bhakti yoga, as told that this is your sadhana, this is your puja time, and this you need to take up every day, he will build his daily routine around it. He will see to it that he has gone and done his duty. That spiritual duty comes first. So, along those lines, then he will fix up his other commitments. Yes, as a family member, I'll finish this and I'll come here. So, you can know that this is Sattva Pradhan. And such people are not apologetic about it. A Sattvic immediate change in actions. This is immediate, literally. This is beautiful. Otherwise, no, I'm fighting, I'm struggling, I can't make that change. I know I'm doing wrong, but I'm not able to change. Huh? This is because somewhere in the subconscious, as I know, today I read somewhere, a mistake performed twice and thrice is not a mistake, it is a choice. You have purposely done it. It's either so you have to watch where the impurity lies. It is in the antakarana. It is not outside of you that makes you do this. So this way, and then a sattvic man is busy in giving to others. Horses, elephants, cows, land, various jewels. What does he do with all this? He is giving dana. When you say horses, elephants, these were the wealth in those days. So whatever kind, whichever way to help another, he is also busy seen doing that. And a sattvic man gives money, clothes, food, water, and gives dinner to Brahmins so that they are contented. So now, Brahmin ka dana karna, baki, na annadan, all of that, vastradan. This dhanada, happily, immediately also, he will remove the money and hand over. He is not going to think about it. Yeah? Like we know, right? It is always said that when the right hand is giving, even the left hand should not know. Which means what? Be so quick and immediate about it. Do not say, I was planning to do this, I am going to give this, and then wait. Don't do that. If it is to be, if it's that thought has come, Lord Buddha always says, when the thought to do good has come, immediately act upon. That only, allows for sattva guna to, it nourishes and sustains sattva guna this. Immediately do it, act upon it. Do not wait and do not find, oh, I was thinking of this excuses for not doing it the next day and then waiting for a month because you haven't heard, nothing like that. Just immediate. Sometimes, people have heard and they benefit after a program, meditation program. They are thinking, yes, we will make a donation, 500 rupees I'm going to give. Then what happens? I'm thinking, somebody gives 100 rupees. Oh, that person is giving 100 only. I thought of 500. Why should I give 500? Maybe 250 will be okay. I'm being over generous over here. I shouldn't. See, the first thought was 500 because you were satisfied and you could have given that 500. That's why that thought came to you. But then what happens? You are seeing somebody else give 100. Now that 100 is probably what that person can afford at that moment. You see that and you say, no, 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 I'm being just too much. I get carried away with these things, So I will make it 250. And by then your chance has come. You are watching. Should I give? Is it worthwhile? These thoughts come in the mind. So I mean, if people are giving 100 and getting away, so even I will do that. So by then your chance has come to put some money in the hundi box. In front of God, you will do that 100 rupees. The thought was 500, but what you are giving. So this sattva guna, what has happened in between, rajasic and tamo guna have also come into play. So this way, the moment a good thought comes, if you are able to act on it, you will see that it is Sattva Guna Lakshana. So he is ready to give and immediate. I mean, he doesn't find any fault anywhere also, wherever he is. He knows temples requires it, he knows ashrams require it, wherever Brahmins are, whoever requires, needs it, if he has it, he is going to give it up. When a man observes ceremonial baths in the months of Kartik and Magh, huh, that is cold season, no, in November, December, when he observes spiritually significant regimen of dieting and fasting, goes to places of pilgrimage without selfish ends in mind, gives in charity, etc., he is a man of sattva. So you see, ceremonial bath, yeah. And these are basically our whatever religious connotation it has. No, so on a, like we say, on a Diwali day, you have to wake up at 4 o'clock and take a bath. I don't think anybody does that today. No, Diwali is also just you wake up, burst crackers, and then you say, should I go for a bath? It, all sorts of things are happening these days. People ask whether for a puja do you need to take a bath and attend. Even this, it's come to this that people don't know whether it's okay to attend the puja or havan without a bath. So this is not the case. A sattvic person simply goes, does it. He is aware of what needs to be done and he does it. He observes the regimen, wherever fasting, whatever date he has decided, Ekadashi, he will do fast, he will fast. And when he goes to places of pilgrimage without selfish things. When you go to meet a guru, or even I learned, okay, or you go on a place of pilgrimage, we have to learn that the first thing we are going there is to dissolve the ego, not go with great expectations, and with looking for comfort. These days, Tirath Yatras have become more touristy spots with great resorts, and we book, we tend to take care that the resort has ACs and heaters and good attached bathroom. And I mean, all of this is for our comfort, sharirik comfort. And we forget the purpose why we are going there. Huh? If all the time we are thinking about our comfort stay, our energies, and we speak about all this. As long as we are going there to consume, it's not a sattvic pilgrimage. Sattvic pilgrimage is all about giving up your ego. So this is very important. A sattvic man who is rich enough gives dinners to thousands of people, gives various kinds of things as offerings and presents, and does all this most unselfishly. Otherwise, if he is having some ulterior and selfish desire in doing so, it becomes a rajasic action. So they are involved also in feeding people, giving various kinds of things as offerings, presents, and does all this most unselfishly. If the motive is there for him to be called a philanthropist or for him to be called as a generous person, then that is makes it rajasic. When a man makes in the places of pilgrimage an arrangement to give certain regular offerings, who constructs temples with high domes, digs wells, and tanks for public utility, it is the Sattva quality. Digs wells, tanks for public, all of this is seen as seva karma. Whoever, when they realize that there is this cause for which people are getting together, and he knows he has the money he can afford, he immediately gives because he wants to donate for such a cause. That it requires that it be there. Huh? He thinks for the benefit of all, not for himself. That if I don't have this, if rather I will keep this money so that my son gets it, and then he can do something with it. Or everyone has to think. First of all, the Shastra says you see to it that your belly is full, and then you share with others. So your needs must be taken care of. Your children's needs must be taken care of. But more than that, if you are hoarding, that actually slowly it doesn't remain sattvic in nature. It collects rajoguna or tamoguna. It can become sinful tomorrow, because that will give rise to greed and misuse of all the wealth. Best is to see that there is wealth is free flowing. My children, they have to facilitate for their needs, everything is taken care of, then I am donating, even if it takes a big amount of money. I don't want to save. Today, people save. 7 generations don't have to work. They don't get tired. They keep on working. And you will see within the next 2 generations, the family is actually spoiled. This much of wealth brings actually doom to that family. They don't realize this. What they are promoting. Instead, when you share and contribute to society, everyone is benefited that moment. That idea that each one must contribute and share, therefore bring about a well-being in community, must always be maintained. Therefore, they immediately take up to building of all sattvic karyam, they will take care. They don't think twice. So he comes to places of pilgrimage for doing and an arrangement to give regular offerings also. This is to be done, especially when you go to places where you know that somehow they are struggling to maintain those temples. You can help them out. If a man constructs places for rest for visitors at temples, builds stairs or vertical columns with series of lamps, the platforms of stones around sacred trees, etc., it is this sattvic quality. All these examples that is giving is about when Swami Samarth is talking about some 500-600 years ago. So therefore, building these, stones, platforms around trees, all this is seen anyway in sattvic actions, doing something for religious and spiritual activities is considered sattvic quality. Then from the 21st onwards, we shall read the Marathi verses. I think one line is missing in mine. Okay, I'll just finish with that line. Nivavi tapasyanchi mane to sattva guna. संध्या मठ आणि भुयेरी पायरिया नदी तीरी भांडार गृहे देवद्वारी बांधे तो सत्वगुण नाना देवांची जे स्थान तेथे नंदा दीप घालणे वाहे अलंकार भूषणे तो सत्वगुण जे घट मृदांग टाळ दमाने नगारे कहाळ नाना वाद्यांचे कल्लोळ सुस्वराधिक नाना समग्री सुंदर देवळाई घाली नर हरिभजनी जो तत्पर तो सत्वगुण क्षेत्रे आणि सुखासने दिंड्या पताका निशाणी वाहे चामरे सूर्यापाने तो सत्वगुण वृंदावन तुलसी वने रंगमाळा समारजने ऐसी प्रीती घेतली मने तो सत्वगुण सुंदरे नाना उपकरणे मंडप चांदवे आसने देवळाई समर्पणे तो सत्वगुण देवा कारणे खाद्य नाना प्रकारी नैवेद्य अपूर्व फळे अर्पी सद्य तो सत्वगुण ऐसे भक्तीची आवडी नीच दास्यांत्वाची गोडी स्वयं देव द्वार जाणी तो सत्वगुण. If a man develops gardens, sanctuaries, flower beds, provides water supply and gives solace to the minds of ascetics, it is his sattva quality. So you see, there is a lot of emphasis on giving away, you know, offering all the time. Such a person is very generous at heart. And a sattvic person builds suitable places like monastery for observing prayers, digs tunnels or constructs steps near rivers or storehouses, for temples, for people, for the benefit of the community. He is readily offering. This also we say, no, requires a heart. There are many people with a lot of money, but to be able to give it away for some good cause, they find it difficult. There are many fears and insecurities that crop up at that time. When they have that money in bank, they feel very secure about it. It gives us this false sense of security. Security is a myth. It's an illusion, but we all fall for it. So this kind of a thing, when you're sattvic, you have to have a greater trust in existence, greater faith in God. That is when you will be able to take that money and offer it without thinking, without fearing, without the sense of insecurity. So it's a great thing to do. It's not a small thing. Some people have a lot and they start giving so that they can get a good name of being generous. The sattvic person is not like that. In fact, when he gives, many people will not even know how much he is giving. Because there is no need for that to rise and all. That is a great difference. This Rajasic person will give with a lot of fear but will say, at least if I get appreciation for it, at least if 10 people have known that I have done something like this. No? So they will see to it that people have heard of it. A sattvic person, you wouldn't have heard about him saying this. This will be the difference between the two. A sattvic person makes arrangements for keeping lamps lit in the temples and offers ornaments, etc., for the image of God. These all are things without asking. Like one of the Shankaracharyas, was telling that when people come and they offer, a sattvic person will not come and say, so what do you want? What should I offer you? So that Shankaracharya said we live in an ashram, and a person who really wants to give should know what he could offer. And how do you go? It's also a manner of conduct. Sattva guna is also that they are sensitive to how to ask and approach, not blatantly. What is it that you will require? Anything required, please tell us. Huh? This is not the way. How could somebody like a guru or a Shankaracharya say that I want anything from you? If you truly wanted to give, you should know what would be required. Instead, you can ask this. Is there firewood required? Can I order that? Can I get some vegetables for this and offer? They might say, okay. You need shawls if it is winter time. You need some winter clothing. Do you need firewood? What is it? That you must make. And if you're sattvic in nature, you will understand this. You have to simply go and offer it quietly. This shows the difference between sattvic giving, and even rajasic giving. Now, Bhagavan Krishna has spoken about it in the Gita also. He says about dan, about shraddha, everything, and how all of them can be sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic in nature. So, even your faith is like this. A sattvic person provides for various instruments of music, percussions, mridangam, cymbals, drums, big and small, and flutes and other stringed instruments. This could be for the use of bhajans. It could be in the use of musicians, temples. If he supplies various beautiful articles and apparatus in temples and is very earnest in the devotion of God, he is of sattvic quality. Then 26th, he offers for God in the temple umbrellas, ornamented staffed umbrellas, palanquins, I think, flags, and other pieces of auspicious decorative nature for processions of the image. It is a sattvic quality which encourages him to do these things, which is in other ways saying that you must get to know what will be required and make that offering without even being asked. And each one must make an offering that is in keeping with his position. That is the amount of wealth that he has. He can really afford a lot, but he chooses to buy something very small for the temple. It is not sattvic, his quality. If he knows he can offer 10,000, and against that he is just offering 1,000 rupee and getting away, thinking he's being very smart, that is not sattvic in nature. So one must know and must be able to contribute. That is, if one has to become sattvic pradha, there is always this oughtness to it. The sattvic man builds platforms around tulsi herbs, arranges decoration by crushed stone powder of various colors, and he has great love for doing all these things. It is this, okay, so anyway, every time anything spiritual, religious attracts him, and he is willing to do anything for that. A sattvic man offers in the temples various beautiful articles, various seats, pandals, hanging showpieces, etc. The man of such piety offers versus this. If this is all required for any, any puja, and puja of gods, should always be when. How do we want God to give us in abundance, isn't it? We want God to fulfill us properly, but what do we have to offer Him? This is always a question. There is the story about this great devotee of Krishna who sings his praises, and he moves around like a fakir. He is happy living like that. He carries his jola, takes annadan from people, and that one meal a day he eats, whatever he gets. Once it so happens, as he's collecting and he is singing hymns, and he is completely lost in his um, bhajan for Krishna, he sees a huge, big chariot and a lot of people standing and praying and worshipping. And he suddenly sees who is in the chariot. He says, who is this important person who's coming? He says, hey, this looks like my Krishna. He recognizes his Lord coming his way. Is he coming my way? Am I dreaming or what is this happening? And by that time, the chariot comes right in front of him. And he thinks that this chariot will pass, but it hasn't passed. It stops there. And Krishna gets down. He says, whom is he coming to meet? So he looks around and he says, no, there's nobody. Oh, is he gone down to meet me? Krishna comes and says, what do you have in your bag? So he is very surprised. Krishna is asking me what I have. You should know I'm a fakir. I have some grains of rice. So he says, let me see. What do you have? He says, I have some rice. So why don't you give me some rice? Krishna asks. And this devotee says, can't believe it. Krishna, who is Ishvara, I mean, he owns this world. This entire Jagat is his. He doesn't need anything. Why is he asking me? And he's saying, is he playing a game with me? Or what? He can't believe this. Huh? What does he do? He puts his hand in his jhola, takes one grain of rice and gives it to him. Because now he is wanting to see what's happening. And Bhagavan receives it with so much love and affection. He says, thanks a lot. Oh, so nice to have it. And this devotee is wondering, what is Krishna doing? How can he be doing this? I don't know. He finds it very strange, and suddenly he sees Krishna is back in the chariot and he is gone. Taken that grain of rice. He says, this is a dream or something? I don't know. He goes to his kutia and then from the bag pours the rice out, a handful of rice. In that, he finds one gold coin in the shape of the rice. He says, oh my God, one rice grain I gave him. Bhagavan has given me one piece of gold which made up like that, of that rice shape. And what does he say? I should have given him all the rice, no? See. Huh? Even a devotee can make this mistake. When that gold comes to him as a blessing from Krishna, then he says, I should have given all. When Bhagavan was asking, Bhagavan came as Bhagavan, not even in disguise. And asking, we don't give. So when we are doing puja, our offering should be from the heart. Give in abundance. What you give only you will get. It is in the giving that you will receive, isn't it? But before we even offer, one apple will do, no? But Bhagwan only, na? We make these excuses for ourselves. No? Fruit, one banana is enough, no? Or do we get to get all kinds of fruits? How do you want from Bhagwan? But when you ask, do you stop with that one tree for your son and for your daughter? How do you want? You want everything to be all the time good and happy. But while giving, this one mala is enough, no? 5 rupees he was telling. It's also expensive today, no? That Sattvic man will not look at that. For whom is he offering? To God, his Ishta and his beloved. And he wants to offer so that he knows in that action his own vasanas are going to get purified. He recognizes in that offering there is a lot more to gain. He doesn't bother about these things. So puja aate hi, we will make all the cut in costs. Why is the priest demanding so much? Why so much milk is required? Can't it be made with half a banana in this? And the same thing when the doctor says, I doubt it could be this, let us, for sake of clearing doubts, if the doubt is in the doctor's mind, do this MRI, do this CT scan, let it be done in this 5-star hospital. Then I think that results will be good. We don't think even once. Why? My body is very important. So Sharira Pradhana we are at that. No. Doctor has said. That it has to be done in this place, and we have to go through all these tests. How much ever money, it is okay. Finally, it is our life. No, but the same thing while giving God, while giving somebody else. Is this needed? Is this required? It must be practical. These people are raised, how they look. Oh my God. And I am not going to fall for it. But you will go and fall for what the doctors say. Yeah? Shows where your astha is. And as long as your astha is on the sharir and mana, which is rajoguna, you will be driven to such sufferings and such ajnana, ignorance. The one who is sattvic will not cut costs for spiritual. The time taken for spiritual is more. In his daily activities, the time that he spends for others in contributing to the society is much more than in the activities that he's spending for himself selfishly. That is sattvic pradhan. Time, money, energy spent in terms of contribution for one's own purification is held supreme for the spiritual seeker. So here he says, a sattvic man offers in the temples beautiful articles. Then 29, the man of such piety offers the best kind of food, very sweet things, and rare fruits for God. See, again, the quality he is concerned about. What quality should I give my Bhagwan? What quality should I give in Dhan? I know there are many places where they offer food, the kind of ingredients that goes into the food that is given in charity. You have heard in the newspapers many places where such food eaten in a charitable place, or unfortunately midday meals causing problems for children and people being either having food poisoning or something. It's very sad. So one has to be very careful when offering to God, because what you offer to God, you are going to receive 10 times back. This we must keep in mind always. So he is sattvic who wants to offer only the best. He doesn't compromise on that. The sattvic man has such a devotional love towards God that he is ready to do any low type of work like sweeping at the gate of the temple. We just see him doing small things like cleaning up, like doing sweeping. If you go to any Gurudwara for that matter, you will see people of very high position also standing there, taking care of footwear, polishing footwear of devotees who come into the temple. They are cleaning and sweeping. If you stop them and ask them, they might be people from very high position who are doing such what is considered menial jobs. You see, typically, trustees and these people of board, committee members, and all of them, the way they enter their own temple as though they are gods themselves, because they own that position, they wear that crown on their heads, and they will want special privilege into the temple. If you are a trustee, then all the more you have to see to it that other devotees are getting that chance to enter the temple. No, a special arti will be held just because this important person has come in. Such importance, it doesn't speak well for a person on the spiritual path. The spiritual path, he is a nobody when he comes to the temple or in front of the Guru. Himself there and is ready to do this kind of work. He doesn't feel that this is meant for somebody else. I am supposed to do more important things around. And let me tell you, that ego has to go, but they are puffed up in many places, and especially in temples, you will see puffed up egos this way. And you wonder, what have they come there for? But they have also come, like Bhagavan Krishna says, each one offers, there are different kinds of devotees. Some come, each one, because their ends, what do they want in life, where they are. Like I said, their astha, their astitva is, if it is sharirik in nature, they want artha, they want wealth, they want to secure for their body, they want comfort, then these people are always in that plane. And then there is this psychology also, emotional dependency. So different reasons people come to the temple and come to spiritual um, places. But the sattvic person, you will be able to identify him this way, that he comes there selflessly, he is willing to devote his time for even to do very, very, very menial activities, and without complaining, without saying, was I called for this? And when he knows that there is this, what all is expected of him as a volunteer, he will completely do that job and not complain. That is sattvic in nature, understanding and being very alert, active, aware of his duties, and aware of the consequences of his duties also. So completely done. The job is completely done. Not that I have come and I just had to do something, I have done something and gone. Big difference in this. So more of Sattva Guna, this all we must keep in mind, because as Bhagavan Krishna has said, if we have to remain in Sattva, we must constantly remind ourselves of this. And where we find ourselves falling, then immediately that's. So today we will conclude over here. Next class we will see the remaining verses of this Sattva Guna, the seventh topic. So shall we conclude here for today? Any questions? No, I think Tamoguna had lot many more questions. Gave up for lot of Sattva Guna. We know we have to there. We are already there 50%, 60%, 80%. So keep on fine tuning. That's all. Okay, so shall we conclude then? Oh. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम्